Right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him in. The big guy, Mike Cozzi. Good morning there, Mike.
Good morning.
And how are you doing this morning?
I'm all right.
All right. Dodgers, they lost to Milwaukee last night.
Oh, yeah. You expect them to lose to Milwaukee, don't you?
Yeah. Did you hear what some of the Dodger players are saying?
What?
Are you sitting down?
Yes, sir.
They're calling out their fans for having no energy.
Blame somebody else.
You know what?
That's it.
Every crowd is the same. When a team is taken out of the game, they have no energy. It's as simple as that. That's
when the other team gives you bases loaded in the last inning with no outs, and you screw the pooch. What are they supposed to do? Stand up and cheer for you?
What was the final score of the game? What was it?
4-0.
Yeah, 4-0.
4-0, but they had the bases loaded with no outs in the last inning. The Brewers manager did everything they could to put the Dodgers and make their fans happy last night. I mean, Chachin pitched a great 5 in the third innings, only gave up 3 hits, but we got to take him out. And then we go to our relief pitchers, and the first guy didn't give up a hit, struck out 4, but, oh, my God, he threw 19 pitches. We got to take him out. And then they finally got to Hader, who's their main guy in the pen. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, struck out 2 guys, but once again, he only threw 8 pitches. So let's take him out and go to Jeffress, who's been a piñata in the playoffs. So Jeffress gives up a hit, and then Machado gets a hit, Turner gets a hit, Machado gets a hit, brings up their heart of the order with Bellinger, Puig, and Grandal, and they go down like the lambs of mercy. What are the fans supposed to do at that point?
Yeah, I tell you,
the fans are the reason why we lost. Wonderful. Unbelievable. I mean, to the Dodgers' credit, they let their starter go 7 yesterday. That's an amazing feat. But I still just don't get it. The more I watch baseball, the more I get disgruntled with it. I mean, I coach baseball, and as long as my pitcher is getting guys out, and we're talking about kids, and they don't get to an excessive pitch count, remembering I'm talking about kids, not professionals, they pitch. And here you make moves for the sake of making moves. Well, let's take Hader out, so if we need him tomorrow, we can use him tomorrow. You know damn well you're going to use him tomorrow. But then why do you take him out? He only threw 8 pitches. 8 pitches. That's not even enough to get a sweat under your lip. And you bring in the guy who's been hit like a piñata. But let's try to make him feel good about himself. Let's get him in the game today and make him feel good about himself. Oh, my God. The end of this game was just, I wanted to get up out of my chair and hit my head against the wall. But Milwaukee got the win, 4-0, and the Dodger fans are the reason why the Dodgers lost now a year, huh?
And tonight it's the Red Sox, right?
We got everything going today.
Okay.
Today we got everything going. Let me make sure of the times. Boston plays Houston at the ungodly hour, 5:09 our time tonight. And then Milwaukee plays L.A. at 10:10. At 9:09, I'm sorry. 9:09.
All right.
5:09 to watch Boston-Houston. So make sure, folks, you tell your boss you're sick, you need to go home early, or, maybe you can make up another excuse or something.
Now, I'm going to go to the NFL because he really is something. The more you see him play, the more you appreciate why the Packers are in it each year. I didn't see the game, but it was a wild game, I guess.
I flipped to it when it was when baseball was over, and I saw the 49ers were winning, and then the Packers tied them up, and then the Packers were starting to move the ball a little bit, and it was a big play where Rodgers got sacked. Game over. Yeah. Game over. One of those questionable penalty flags came flying out of somebody's pocket. Defensive penalty, automatic first down. Taking nothing away from Rodgers. I mean, after that, he performed unbelievably to move the team down the field to get the field goal. But, once again, the referees decide the outcome of the game. It was a very questionable call made against Sherman. Could have gone either way. They made the call. Game over. 49ers lose. Packers win. Rodgers had to perform after the penalty, which he did, but they gave the Packers another chance to win the game, and they took advantage of it.
Was it another penalty about hitting the quarterback?
No, it was a defensive holding penalty.
Well, you can call defensive holding on every play.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Every play.
That's why I don't.
Yeah.
It's killing me, folks. That's why I don't watch football. It's a joke. Just like when the guy's in the ring talking to the referee and his back's to what's going on in the ring, and somebody else comes and hits the guy in the back of the head with the chair. Oh, how'd that happen? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's funny. Harry Carson was saying the other night, I think it was Harry Carson because it was on New York Station I was watching, it was a Giant, that with all the rules now protecting a quarterback and the other rules with what happens in the secondary, he said it's no wonder you get
it's a no contact league.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And
like you hear people saying about the longevity of quarterbacks, and now you got 4 of them in the league that are pretty old. You got Roethlisberger, Brady, Breeze, and David Rivers, and Manning, and everybody's saying how the conditioning is better that leads to the longevity of these players and every. It's not that. They don't get hit.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to get hit. And I'll start with some of your guys. You got Phil Simms, Montana, Young, Staubach, Aikman, all of them guys. Why did Young and Aikman have to retire relatively early?
Yeah.
You don't remember?
No.
Concussions.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
How do you get concussions? You get hit.
Yeah.
Well, now this is the beast that you've born. You got flag football in the NFL. You're supposed to get hit. Like I've used the analogy before. If you don't want to get shot, don't be a cop. If you don't want to get injured and die in a fire, don't be a fireman. If you don't want to get a concussion, don't play football. But people are firemen, people are policemen, thank God. Appreciate every job they do. If you want to be an NFL player, being concussed and getting hurt comes with the game. Don't change the game because now it is garbage. It's not the longevity of these quarterbacks because of the way they take care of themselves. It's because of the rules that have changed in the league and have allowed it. But it's also allowed defensive backs not to touch anybody. Anybody coming over the middle, you can't do it. Did you watch the game? Did you happen to catch the game, the Miami game the other day?
No.
I believe it was the Miami game. Well, there was one game where a quarterback was running into the end zone. I think it was, I might be mistaken with the game, but they asked a defensive back or a linebacker, why did you not hit the quarterback when you clearly had a shot to tackle him before the end zone? You know what his response was? I figured I was going to get flagged.
Yeah. I believe it, yeah.
You let the guy score. You didn't hit him because you figured you were going to get a penalty against you. That's what it's come to.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad.
I mean, I used to love football until around 2003, 2004 when it really started getting out of hand. I used to watch football all the time with my wife and before that and follow teams. But the way that the rules changed and the games changed, it's unwatchable. It has nothing to do with the players.
Yeah.
It has to do with the people that make the rules that the players play under. I mean, imagine that. Quarterback's going in. You can knock him down on a 3-yard line. You don't touch him because I thought I was going to get a flag thrown against me.
Yeah.
Do you ever think you hear something like that?
I just all people have to do is go back and Google NFL archives and watch football from 1979 back, and you'll see what football was.
Man, I remember one play in particular. There was a defensive back on the Vikings, going back to the late 60s, early 70s. The guy's name was Carl Cozzi. He laid a hit on a quarterback that looked like he killed him. Today, he'd probably go to jail for it.
There's players that couldn't play in the NFL today. Conrad Dobler, Lawrence Taylor,
Ronnie Lott, Jack Lambert.
I mean, you can go you can go through a whole. They would be fined and they'd be out of the league in one game.
And they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's a shame what football's become. I mean, you look at all the scores. There's no defensive struggles no more. there's 60, 70 points a game being scored all the time. Yeah. It's unwatchable. It's a fantasy football league. That's what it is, because fantasy football drives the league with all of the stuff that goes on with it. And how does fantasy football survive? By players getting yards and scoring touchdowns. And it's an offensive game. It's not a defensive game at all. It's like watching a hockey game, and we just made the net 10 feet wide. Who's going to watch it?
All right, we'll check with you mañana.
I'll be here, guys. Have a great day, and enjoy the Boston Red Sox game at 5 o'clock this afternoon, if you can.
Okay, take care.
Have a great day.
Mike Cozzi with the Check on Sports. We've got Pat Pagano coming along with the forecast in just a few moments.